And she'll be handling the majority of the presentation here today. ClickDimensions is a third-party solution. They're our partner with Affiliated Resource Group, and we actually use them internally for marketing automation. So you'll be able to speak with, or be able to see everything that she has here to present today as well. So let's get moving throughout the day. If anybody has any questions, just as you use the question box, please type those in, and I'll be able to get back to you during this webinar or at the very end of the webinar, which will have a Q&A at the end. And Jesse will also be with us here shortly. So our agenda here today, we're going to talk a little bit about Affiliated Resource Group, and then we're going to also go into some analyst research and talk about some of the experts who are in the industry and where they see Microsoft CRM compared to our competitors. Then we're going to have a very brief demonstration of Microsoft Dynamics CRM. We're going to use case to simplify, organize, increase sales, and marketing productivity is what we're going to really be able to show you here today. And track marketing productivity, sales process, and the guided process. And then Jesse will be able to take over and perform the ClickDimensions demonstration, showing you guys some different types of marketing automation. And then at the very end of this demonstration, we're going to have a nice Q&A. So Affiliated Resource Group. Now here at Affiliated, our goal is to help you recognize and implement a solution that is going to give you the tools that allows your teams to increase productivity, efficiency with new and existing technology that will simplify your day-to-day processes. Okay, we are a leading Microsoft Dynamics CRM partner, and we do have national coverage. We tend to focus here in our area, in Ohio, in our region, but we do work with some different customers across the country as well. And we have also 20 years of experience. So we also were a Microsoft U.S. Central Region Partner of the Year. I mean, we were actually voted there twice. And of course, we are a Microsoft Gold certified partner. So here's a Microsoft Dynamics quick overview here, and the Analyst Research by Gartner and Forrester. And these are the experts who are in the industry. Okay, so as you can see with Gartner and Forrester, you know, Microsoft Dynamics CRM is at top of the class. And of course, I love these types of research because, of course, I'm a little bit biased. You know, Microsoft CRM is in the top of the class, and we compete very well with where we see as a division and the ability to execute in our strategy to strong performance. And we're going to give you a quick demonstration here today, going over some of these different features here. So the first thing that I wanted to be able to show everybody here today is the dashboard. And the ability to tailor and customize this dashboard is very simple. You're able to create different views for different individuals within your department, within your company. Okay? The first dashboard that we're looking at here today is the Microsoft CRM Social Overview. And this is basically an overview of your entire system, from your sales pipeline to your lead source by campaign, which would deal with your marketing, and your cases by priority, which deal with your cases. Obviously today, we're going to be focusing more on the marketing end of things. And obviously anybody who, you know, any type of marketing director that I've ever worked with, anybody that, you know, is on the marketing side of things, and obviously I'm on the sales side of things. One of the biggest, you know, complaints that I hear from the marketing department is the ability to track the different leads that they're providing. And that's what Microsoft CRM is going to be able to do for you, is allow your marketing department to track these different leads that you're bringing in the pipeline, be able to track where these leads and where these opportunities now are within your system. And what we're going to do today is we're going to start off with the sales process and show you the ability to track where they are within Microsoft CRM. So first, we'll just stick with the dashboard at this point. We have a what's new right here. And this will allow you to see where all of your different leads, all your different opportunities may be within your pipeline. If this was a hot lead, you may create a post saying, okay, this is a hot lead. and this will populate into what's new. We also have our activities here at the very bottom of our dashboard. Obviously, this allows you to see what you need to be able to do that day, what you need to be able to do for the future. Either it may be a task, it may be a phone call, or an email. Just kind of basically lets you know what you need to be able to do throughout that day and for the next coming weeks. So like I said before, we're going to start out with that sales process. We're going to start out with the leads. So obviously when you underneath sales, when you click on leads, you're able to then click a specific lead. And one of the first things that you're going to notice is what we call the guided process. Now, the reason why this is so important with the guided process is you're able to see, and your marketing teams are able to see exactly where each lead is that they've brought into this system, whether they're still in the lead phase, whether they're the develop, the propose, or the closing phase. We have all the different fields here on the left-hand side, which are 100% customizable, tailorable for your business. And then we also have the social CRM aspect of the system. Now, once we get to the point where we've been able to capture all that basic information that you need for every single lead that you receive, we're then able to then go to qualify this lead. And as soon as we qualify this lead, the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to create an opportunity. But also in the background, not only are you going to create an opportunity, but you're going to create an account as well as a contact. And I don't know if you noticed, but within the guided process as well, we've moved from qualify to develop. So within the guided process or your sales process, you're moving this customer or this potential customer along. And this, once again, will allow the marketing team to see exactly where these different opportunities are at within the sales process. So one of the things that I wanted to be able to show you here today is the simplicity of use of the system. Of course, we have these fields here on the left. Just like I said before, they're 100% tailorable for your specific industry or business. And the way that we're able to tailor those is very simply clicking on this ellipse here at the very top of the screen, moving to our form editor, and we have the ability to either remove or to add fields. Okay? And these are some of the different fields that Microsoft has actually put into our system for you that may be useful for you and your business. And we can very simply add a field to the system, to the opportunity interface, and just as simply remove that field. And we're able to then save and publish our changes. And this is going to populate on all of the opportunities. So it's not just for this specific opportunity. Now, with the ability to be able to simplify and create your own fields, to manipulate these fields, we're able to get very specific on your industry. Also, what you're able to do is tailor your guided process or your sales process. And we're able to go into edit that sales process and go to, we can add a stage very simply just by clicking add stage so that we can track exactly where all of these leads are. We can add a step to these different stages as well. And we can label these however you'd like. And this makes it very simple for your sales reps and for your marketing teams, of course, to see what their next steps are, what they need to be able to do to take this lead to the next, or this opportunity to the next stage within your process. Now in the middle of our screen here, we also have the social CRM aspect, and this is something that I wanted to get into just a little bit, and the ability to add posts, to add specific comments for maybe other people within your company to be able to see, your sales manager, your marketing manager, whomever that may be, these different comments that will populate in the what's new of the dashboard. We're also able to create activities. Now, I also created a workflow for all the opportunities for the guided process. So when we reached a specific stage, there was a workflow that was kicked off, and this opportunity was added to Bill Rockwell. Bill Rockwell is now the new user or the owner of this opportunity. And you can create a workflow that allows you to push an opportunity to a specific territory by their address information, utilizing the Bing Maps. You can create activities. You can create specific emails that are automatically sent out. So your options are really endless for your workflows and to simplify your process, which will allow your company, obviously, and your users to become more productive within their workday. Also, you have the ability to add a task, any type of subject, any type of description, and you can also put the date to which it's due, which will populate in the activities. Add a phone call, any type of those basic notes. And with Microsoft CRM, our goal was to make this as simple as possible for our users, making sure that the system was very user-friendly and allowing you to become as productive as possible. Now, I believe Jessie should be on, and she's going to kind of plug all of this together for you and start diving deeper into the CRM or into the marketing aspect of the system. Okay, make sure she's on here. And I'm going to be able to give her the controls here in just 1 minute. Sorry for the delay. Just give me 1 second here.
Hi everybody, can you hear me? Bill, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you, but I believe that everybody else is on mute. So
sounds great.
Make sure everybody can hear you. Make sure they can reply and make sure everybody can hear you. Can you show your screen, Jessie?
I think you have to give me the control to do that.
Okay, give me 1 second. Here's everybody can see you here. So I stopped showing my screen. I don't know if it's going to...
You just have to make me the presenter, and it should give me the okay.
Okay, give me 1 second. Okay. And I believe there you go.
So everyone should be able to see my presentation and hopefully hear me okay. So everybody, thank you for allowing me to come on today. My name is Jessie Granlund, Partner Account Manager for Click Dimensions, and I'm pleased to be able to present to you the solution today. So I'm going to start off just reviewing a couple slides here, talk about Click Dimensions from a high level so you have a good understanding conceptually of what its capabilities are, and then we'll dive into the live environment in Microsoft Dynamics CRM and spend most of the time there today. because I know that's what everyone likes to see. So what is ClickDimensions? ClickDimensions is an email marketing and marketing automation solution that's built exclusively for Microsoft Dynamics CRM. And you can use this to perform end-to-end marketing tactics. So we give you all of this functionality listed right here inside the UI of Microsoft Dynamics CRM. So we're going to help you to allow the, measure the results of your campaigns, help you to eliminate redundant and manual processes, ultimately helping you make better business decisions with better data. And what's great about this is you don't have to go outside of CRM to do things like create email campaigns, track your web visits, build your web content like landing pages, forms, and surveys. You can do things like build multi-touch drip marketing campaigns. We have a lead scoring component, and ClickDimensions really enables your sales teams to have better data to act on, connecting to their prospects even through social networks. So what we do really well with ClickDimensions is help to bridge that gap between your marketing activities and your sales results. So this is a scenario that we hear all the time from marketers, people that are using a number of systems, creating major data silos. So maybe you're using something like Microsoft Dynamics CRM to manage your customer accounts, your marketing lists, something different for email. A lot of times there's no integration at all with these two. A lot of people are using something completely different for forms, for surveys, even for social, and nothing talks to one another. So what we do is bring all that information and all that functionality into one central place that sits inside of Microsoft Dynamics CRM for a full 360-degree view of your prospects and your customers. So this is just a diagram quickly showing how it works. The solution is built on Windows Azure, connects to the websites and your recipients' inboxes, and it tracks everything back into CRM. So from a user perspective, the whole experience of using ClickDimensions is right inside CRM. All the data is brought into CRM in a way that's reportable and actionable, and it's all captured in real time. So what this means is that you can use all of the native features in CRM, like workflow, reporting, querying, dashboarding, to get the data to do whatever you ask it to do. You're never going to be in a situation where it's inaccessible by being in another database. So last slide here before I show you the live environment. Just so that you understand from an email marketing standpoint, all creation and sending is coming from inside CRM, but ClickDimensions will handle the sending of the emails through our servers. So on the back end then, we track deliverability, sender authentication. Another really great feature with our tool is that you can associate a CNAME, so the emails are completely branded to your organization. So that way when a recipient receives an email, nothing is actually branded to ClickDimensions. So I'm going to actually jump right into CRM right now to show you what ClickDimensions looks like and where it's located within the UI of Microsoft Dynamics CRM. So I'm demoing out of my production environment today. This is CRM Online, and ClickDimensions work with CRM Online, CRM On-Premise, and partner-hosted versions. So where we sit is under this Marketing tab here. We add this Analytics and Email Marketing section. So here's where all of your web traffic is going to feed into. You're going to have all your form inquiries, your survey data coming in here in near real time. So we'll touch on that in part 2, and we'll kind of begin talking from an email marketing perspective right away. So here's where you're going to have your full email marketing functionality. You're going to be able to send out individual emails, bulk emails, and emails through workflow with CRM and ClickDimensions. You've got many different templates that you can use to create these emails, and if I go under email templates, this is where it's all stored. If you want to create a new email, you're going to hit New, decide which editor you want to use. We have 3 now, and 1 coming in our next release in October, which is going to be a drag and drop environment. But here's our block editor, our freestyle, or our custom HTML. So if you choose one of those editors, hit Save, you can go into the full screen editing environment. So you're never leaving Microsoft Dynamics CRM. And then just to show you quickly what these different editing environments look like, this is that block editor, our most simple editor. People that don't have HTML experience like this, because you can very quickly create an email, make it look nice without having any HTML experience at all. So this takes you through the wizards. It's a very guided tour to create an email. If I want to add content, you're going to add your blocks, add text, add images, add HTML if you want to. But this will take you to an image manager where you can store and save as many images as you want. into this image manager, bring them into the editors. The blocks are resized with drag and drop. You can add your social icons into the email, change your background color. And what I mean by adding social icons, this actually will drop in icons for Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Google Plus right into the email for you. You can rearrange these, and then when someone clicks on that icon and shares that article with their social communities, you'll be able to see a report on that in CRM, which I'll kind of go to after after I'm done showing the editing environments here. But this is our _1 editor, the block editor. We also have a freestyle environment, so this is great for those who have templates that you just want to import into the layout manager. If you have something that fits your look and feel, you just want to bring the HTML file into a template so you don't have to start from scratch. You can do that here. This is the layout manager. We have tons of templates for you to choose from, and of course you can upload your own. A lot of people who go in and out of HTML or like HTML like this editor because you have the option of dropping in your HTML code, going in and out of that HTML environment in the design mode. One big benefit of having this in CRM, and you can do this with all the editors, is that you can bring in personalization right into the email from a lead, contact, and account record in CRM. So you can drop in any attributes that you might have under your lead, contact, and account records into your email. So in simplest terms, maybe we just want to bring in the first name of everyone in your marketing list. So it's just Dear John. Very easy for you to do that. You can bring in standard and custom attributes that you might have put under your contact and lead and account records, allowing you to kind of create a more personalized look and feel in these emails. But this is that freestyle WYSIWYG design environment. You know, you can really accomplish the same thing in all of the editors, just in a different way, so whatever you're more comfortable with. Then, of course, for those HTML experts, we have a custom HTML editor, and if you drop any raw code in here, it's going to render perfectly. So you have your HTML design mode and your preview mode. So one other way that you can create and send emails through ClickDimensions is through our Outlook cast, and this is a great sales tool. So you have the ability to create an email using Outlook as the creation tool, and then you can send it through ClickDimensions servers. So the way that you do this is go into your Outlook, create your email just like you normally would. You're going to add your links in there. You can see this has personalization. Then you'd go into CRM, and here's your marketing list. We're going to add this Outlook cast button on the ribbon of your marketing list. Once you hit Outlook cast, you get a unique URL that you just copy and paste, put back into your editor, or put back into your Outlook email, and when you hit send, this goes through ClickDimensions servers. So it looks very personal. You tend to have a higher open rate with these. It's a very way to send emails that you want to get personal responses back on because it looks like they're one-to-one. So that is really you have your 3 editors and you have Outlook cast for email creation. One other tool that you have to help you with the design is this inbox preview, and this is really great time saver for marketers. So it just allows you to see how your design renders on different platforms and mobile devices. So if you want to see what your design looks like in an iPhone versus an iPad, different versions of Outlook, you have the ability to see that. So let's get back out of PowerPoint here. I want to show you the email send record. So really what we covered so far is how to create emails and some of the tools that you have for email design. So this email send record here is going to be where you'd set your properties and where you'd actually initiate the sending of an email. So for every email that you send out through ClickDimensions, you'll create an email send record so that you can specify who your recipients are, and that can be any combination of your leads, your contacts, your accounts, or your marketing lists in CRM. And those marketing lists can be dynamic or static. So here's where you can send your email right away or queue it up to send it on a later date. You can specify who you want this to come from, and another benefit of having this in CRM is you can send these emails on behalf of the record owner in CRM. So they're more personalized. You can tie everything to a Microsoft Dynamics CRM campaign. So this really allows you one central place to attach all of your campaign content to. And if you have multiple, maybe you have a landing page and you have emails, and or maybe multiple emails, and you want to tie it all to one place, you can tie it all to this campaign and put the all-up campaign results in dashboards, create your own customized reports, whatever you need to see. So this is where you'd attach the template that you've created in one of the editors, and then you actually hit send right from this email send record here. Other tools that you have for email is this spam assassin. So if you hit the spam test here, what it'll do is it'll rate the content in your email, and it will determine how likely that is to end up in a spam filter. It'll give you scores, help you along with the wording. You can clone these emails if you want to build something similar but don't want to start from scratch, and you can even initiate split testing. So what this does is it allows you to test 2 different versions of an email with a small sample size to see which version is going to give you the best results. So you might want to test different subject lines to your email. You might want to test entirely different templates. We'll just keep it simple in this example, and we'll send strategy B with the subject line, Happy Holidays. And strategy A will just say November newsletter. So once you've changed something, you're going to hit next, and it'll bring you to the email that you've created, strategy A, and you can maybe change the background color to blue if you want on strategy B. Maybe you want to swap out an article you have in there. This is the full editing environment. You can make any visual changes that you need. We'll just keep it the same. We're changing just the subject line. So what this bar represents is the marketing list that you've attached to your email send record. So we have about 4,700 people in this marketing list here, and you just drag and drop to choose your sample size. So let's just say we want 10% of this marketing list to get version A, 10% to get version B that says Happy Holidays, and then the winning version after a certain length of time, maybe 3 hours or whatever is appropriate, and you determine whether that winning strategy is based on click rate or open rate. Once you hit send and save, the winning version, the winning strategy is going to be sent to the majority of your marketing list, which is 80% of your marketing list. So it's all very automated for you, just another tool to help you with your deliverability scores. So this email send record, where you set the properties, but also after you send this out, and I'm going to back up one step here. So this is a list of all the newsletters that we've sent out. You can see where you have statistics on the deliverability, opens, unique opens, clicks, unsubscribes, and bounces, all of your email events. But you can see them in a more visual way, of course. So here's where you see the overall performance of the email in terms of interactions, click rates, open rates, your deliverability scores. If you put social icons into the emails, you can see how many people shared by Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or Google+. And then when you scroll down, here's the news feed of everyone in your database who interacted with their social networks. And then here's the social icons over here. So back on the ribbon, another way to see the statistics is on a heat map, which shows you an overlay of statistics on how the content is trending. So the way you'd read this is all based on overall clicks. So 6.63% of overall clicks were here in this article, 8.87% here. And then you can go a step further and pull a click report. And what this click report does is it'll break down your email, show you every link in that email, and by unique clicks and total clicks, how many people interacted with that link. So if I want to grab one of these more popular links, this will generate a sub-report showing me every lead in contact in my database who interacted with that link, and these are all connected. So I can go right into someone's contact record right from this click report. Now, of course, you're going to get the statistics in aggregate, but it's also going to be pulled right into a lead in contact record. So if I'm a salesperson and I just want to check out this contact and see everything that they've ever showed interest in from a campaign perspective, I can go to sent emails under marketing here. It'll show me every email that was ever sent to this person and their individual statistics on each of those email sends. We track email events, so we're going to show you every time an email was delivered to this person, any click or any click on a link from email. So this is every link that this person showed interest in from an email perspective. So all of this is tied back into the leading contact record, which can be a very, very powerful tool to have visibility. So a couple other things as we tie up on the email conversation. We're going to track all of your unsubscribes. If someone is unsubscribed from your communication using Click Dimensions, we'll put a block on the record and we won't send to them anymore. So that's a big piece. And then, of course, we have a nurture marketing. feature, which is a really great way to, I guess the idea with nurture is that maybe you have a prospect who's not sales ready and you want to keep the message in front of them, let the appropriate person know when they begin responding to your communication. Well, you can easily put them on a drag and drop drip marketing campaign using our nurture builder here. And let's say, for instance, we come back from a conference and we might have 200 people that stop by our booth and we need to begin to follow up with them. You can easily put these people on a nurture campaign, and the way that you set this up is we'll send email number 1. This actually will bring you to all of the templates that you've created. So maybe we want to say, thanks for coming by the booth. Here's some more information about our company, maybe a link to see a one-to-one demo of the product. Well, then we can put a wait condition in there and say after 2 weeks, days, whatever's appropriate, then we'll see how this person's interacting with the email. Have they clicked on the link that we wanted them to? It'll drop into yes or no. So if yes, we can assign it to the appropriate person, or we can notify a team, add them to a marketing list. We can use any of these tasks as follow-up. If no interaction with that first email after 2 weeks, maybe we want to send email number 2, try to catch their attention in a different way. Then we can stick that wait condition in there, say have they even opened the email, and then it'll drop into yes or no's again. So you can drag this nurture on for whatever length of time that you'd like. Once you associate this with a marketing list, these people get brought in from step 1 and they're essentially on autopilot. So you might have 200 people all within this nurture at different phases depending on how they're interacting with the nurture. The idea is really just set it and forget it. So that is nurture. And then before we close up on the nurture conversation, I'm going to pull up my record here. So those nurtures are attached to marketing lists, but if you have nurture campaigns that are published and ready to use, we have the option on a contact record. We're going to add this Run Nurture button on the ribbon. So if I have a prospect that I'm working with who's become unresponsive to me and I want to put them on a drip marketing campaign, I just hit that Run Nurture button and I grab one of these nurtures that our team has ready to use. I can hit Run, and once I hit OK, this person will get email number 1 in the nurture and they'll go through the motions. Now if someone responds back to this nurture, instead of the marketing team getting notification that they're interacting with the communication, I'm the one that gets an email to handle the follow-up. It's a very, very powerful tool really for doing more with less. So that is nurture marketing. So that's, from a high level, really the email marketing functionality. You can also send out SMS messages now through Click Dimensions. So you can send out individual text messages, bulk text messages to marketing lists, and even text messages through workflow. So we don't charge anything additional for that. We partner with a company called Twilio for the sending, and it's a penny per message from them. So let's switch over and talk a little bit about analytics. So with Click Dimensions, we give you a full web tracking platform, and this is just a diagram showing you how we organize that and bring the data back into CRM. And so when someone comes to your website for the first time, we'll put a Click Dimensions tracking script in the footer of your web page, and that will initiate a cookie in the browser for this visitor, and that's going to track the company name, geographically where they're coming in from. It'll allow us to track their whole visit, every page view that they have with us, and we just don't know a whole lot about this person. We don't know who they are, but we can find out, and there's 2 ways of doing so. So the way that this person can identify themselves with us is by filling out a form on your website, giving us their information, or by clicking on a link in an email sent from Click Dimensions. So if they do one of those 2 actions, we know who they are, so Click Dimensions will automatically convert this person to a lead or contact in CRM, delete the anonymous visitor record, and then push all the old browsing history into the new leader contact record, so nothing is ever lost. We're always going to give you the full 360-degree view of everything this person has looked at from the first time that they visited your site. So let's go back in and I'll show you where all this analytics will come in to CRM. So I'm back in the marketing section here under analytics. So under IP organization, we can see when someone comes in from that IP address, ClickDimensions creates this record for it, finds out geographically where it's coming from and what business the IP address belongs to. We can see how many visitors actually came from that organization if I click into any of these. So that's from an IP organization standpoint. This is that anonymous visitor record. We're going to show you each unidentified visitor who's browsing your site. So again, when someone visits your website for the first time, we create this anonymous visitor record, track all of the pages that they viewed, assign a lead score to them, and when these visitors identify themselves through filling out a form or clicking on an email, we'll check first to see if there's already a lead or contact in your CRM with their email address. If yes, we'll send the information to that record. If not, ClickDimensions will create a new lead or contact record with the submitted information, and this record is deleted. So that's the anonymous visitor. We're also going to show you every visit coming into your website. So this is really my favorite view from a sales perspective. It's going to show every active visitor coming onto your website. If these people are leads or contacts in CRM, you're going to be able to see that here. You can see the referring host, where they're coming in from, keywords that they're typing to get to us. I can see duration, how long they were on the site, lead score, total pages that they are looked at on that visit. I can even see these are all filtering in real time. I can see people who are on my site right now. So if I want to just see, for instance, you can filter and set your views however you want to see this. Here's visits from social. I can use CRM to see these, see this maybe in a more consumable way if I want to see social hits from a top 5 perspective. The data is being brought in tables, so you can set your own views, you can create your own reports to see this data however you need to see it. So not only can you see all those visits coming in, from an aggregate view, but again, you're going to be able to see all these visits coming in from a lead and contact perspective as well. So if I want to see, I'm back to this record here. I came to his records through that email click report, but if I want to see every visit associated with this contact, I just go under visits here. I can see this guy has visited our site 6-7 times. If I scroll over, I can see how long he was on our site on each visit, the lead score he accumulated on each visit, and how many pages he looked at on each visit. So when I double click here, I can get more detail about that visit. So from this view, I can see he came in through Google. He typed in ClickDimensions to get to us. This is him coming in on our homepage, clickdimensions.com. He exited on our tour page. He looked at 9 pages on this visit. And if I want to see every page he looked at, here's where I can see that. This is every page that he spent time on. I can see how long he was on each page. And this is the lead score that they accumulated for every page that he looked at. So that's kind of wrapping up the analytics conversation. Just to quickly touch on lead scoring, this is our default scoring method. So you can customize this however you need to. We give you this default method, and of course, whatever makes sense to your business, you can make your changes. There's even a way to customize your scoring so that certain pages on your website can be scored higher than others. So really 3 more things that I want to touch on before I close up today, and that's web content, building forms, surveys, and landing pages with ClickDimensions. So first and foremost, before I leave the marketing section, if you have forms out there, contact us forms, online content, any of that, you can create forms with ClickDimensions, embed them on your websites, and then all the tracking data is going to come back into CRM. So here's an example, under posted forms here, this is everyone coming in filling out forms on our website. So if I go into any of these forms, I can see every value this person typed in on the form. And it's the same thing with surveys. So if you're automating surveys with ClickDimensions and people are filling out those surveys, this is where all the data is going to come in. You're going to see the lead and contact that it's attached to. I can see every answer that they typed into this survey, and then we also have some advanced survey reports as well. And of course, you can export any of this data into Excel. You can put all this data into dashboards. You can create your own views, whatever you need to see. So the way that you'd actually create these forms, these surveys, and landing pages is under the settings area. under Web Content. So we'll start with landing pages. You can build out landing pages with the same creation tools as you can with email. So you can use the block editor or you can use the freestyle editor to create these landing pages. You can clone landing pages, but when I go into the designer, you're going to see this is that block editing environment that I showed you for email. We'll give it a second to load here. You can embed forms or surveys into these landing pages, and of course we track these landing pages like any other page. We're going to show you who's visiting the landing pages, who's converting by filling out a form to take your call to action, whether that's for event registration or for content download like we're asking on this particular landing page. But the way that after you're ready with a landing page, you create it using one of our editors. There's two ways that you can embed these landing pages. Of course, here's the link that you can just copy and paste, put into your emails for people to access that way, share it out through your social networks, however you want to share this landing page out. But then, of course, you can embed it as an iframe, and this will essentially put this as a separate page on your website. So we host these landing pages, and when you set up your CNAMEs with us, a question that we get asked quite frequently is, since we're hosting this, is it going to appear on our domain? And the answer is no. When you set up your CNAMEs, these will appear to be branded. It'll say files.yourcompany instead of the files.clickdimensions. So that wraps up the landing page conversation. With forms and surveys, it's really a very similar experience creating both. So this is the initial setup process when creating a form or survey. This is a very simple demo form that I've created. You determine whether or not someone coming in filling out a form who doesn't already exist in your CRM database will be a lead or a contact. You choose whatever's more appropriate for your business. This is where you can attach an autoresponder template saying thank you for filling out the form. Someone will be in touch with you, of course, whatever message you want to put in there. You can clone these forms. And then the designer is a drag and drop interface. So you have all your form fields over here on the right, so things like first name, last name, email. So we'll just create a really simple form here. So we're going to use first name, last name, we'll bring email in there. So all your form fields here, of course, you can just drag and drop them in. We have different components that you can bring in. Maybe you want to add a section title, an image on your form, a file upload option, different components that you can also drag and drop in. And I'll just do a quick preview so you can see what this looks like. Nothing exciting, a very simple looking form, but what's great about these forms is that you can set post actions. So what this means is that you can build your processes around the forms, and if you want to add someone to a marketing list after they've completed a form, we make it very easy for you to do so with just drag and drop. You're not having to actually create workflows for when a form inquiry comes in. So if you wanted to add someone to a marketing list or set a follow-up task or phone call activity when a form comes in, notify a team, assign it to someone. So you have all these different post-action options with just drag and drop again. So with this confirmation text, it allows you to just, this will show up in the body of the web page. You can put a thank you in there. Someone will be in touch with you. Not a separate email, but it shows up again in the body of the web page. Or, of course, you can put them to a post redirect page, bring them to your home page or pricing page, whatever's important, wherever you want to put them after they complete the form. The way that you'd embed these forms is the same way that you'd embed a landing page. So we give you an iframe or a widget code. You can stick these forms right on your website, or we have that link for someone to access as well. So that is, that's how you create forms with click dimensions. And the surveys I won't spend too much time on, and then we'll kind of go into Q&A. But the experience is very similar. This is what the setup process looks like. You can attach your autoresponder template. You can attach all of this content to a campaign, like I mentioned earlier in the call. You can clone these surveys. I like to show this survey because it has every kind of question It has multiple pages. This is the survey, our production survey that we use for our customer onboarding. So you can see here we have multiple questions. The only difference really in the designing environment is that, you see it's the same drag and drop interface, but instead of form fields you have survey questions that you're going to drag and drop in. And I'm not going to make any changes again because this is production for us, but you have different components just like with forms. If you want to add CAPTCHA, page breaks, your own HTML, you can do that. Post actions are the same options, so if you wanted to add someone to a marketing list or send a notification, you can do that with just drag and drop. I'm going to preview this for you here. And you can also initiate skip logic with surveys now, so people can skip questions or even entire pages of questions based on their responses. So this is an example of one of our surveys for onboarding. You can see here we have an image, a line, it's multiple pages. The image changes on page 2. We have multiple select questions, star ratings, yes or no's, comment boxes. Page 3, you're going to see the image changes once again. So everything that you need with surveys, all the data is brought back into CRM for you. If I go to confirmation text, it's the same options. This is what someone's going to see after they complete the survey. Picture of our Chief Customer Officer, and then you can also put a post redirect in there as well. So embed options are the same. So if you want to put these surveys on your website or on any web page, you can do that with the iframe or code. Most people like to share these survey links out by email. So here's your link, and again, this will be branded to your company instead of Click Dimensions if you set up your CNAMEs with us. So that would be the web content piece. And we have about 10 minutes left. So I'm going to, kind of close up with one last slide. Click Dimensions really tries to be a thought leader for marketing with Microsoft Dynamics CRM, and we're constantly providing assets for customers and people who aren't our customers to give them tips and tricks. We have these different great ebooks, Marketing with Microsoft CRM Idea Book, Marketing ROI for Dynamics CRM Quick Guide. We have an awesome, very active blog where we're always talking about our new features and what's going on in the marketplace. Lots of premium content on our website, so I welcome you to take a look at any time. But Bill, I think maybe I'll just pass it back to you for some Q&A.
Okay, absolutely. Well, if there's any questions out there, please send those, put those in the question box. We had a few questions that were asked earlier. One of the questions that was asked was whether or not the CRM that I presented was the online version. Yes, it was the online version of CRM. The online version, on-premise version, are basically identical in the way that they look and the way that they can be presented. Also, another question was, can the CRM activities be added in a nurture to trigger snail mailing? Yes, you can create an activity and create a workflow that will create an activity when a lead or an opportunity comes in to basically have that sent out to a specific prospect. So the short answer to that would be yes, but of course you would then have to send out the mail yourself. But there could be an activity that would be created as soon as you get to a certain point within the sales process of your company. And we can create a workflow that would create that activity. If there's any other questions, please feel free to put those into the question box. Those are just some of the questions that were thrown out there here today. So if there's any other questions, please put those in. If not, we have all of our information. Jessie has all of our information posted right there for you, mine and her information as well. If you could bring that back up, Jessie.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just thinking maybe it makes sense for me to go through a pricing structure too.
Oh, okay.
You can get a sense for that.
And I believe what we're going to do is everybody who may be interested in Microsoft CRM or Click Dimensions, if you're already a Microsoft CRM user, please get a hold of me, Bill Rockwell at arsgrp.com. And all of my contact information as well was sent out for the register for the webinar email that was sent. And we actually use Click Dimensions to send that email out. So we're a very active user of Click Dimensions, and I'm a very active user of Click Dimensions as well. But I'll let it go back to Jessie, and she can kind of go back over some of those pricing. Oh, it looks like we have another question as well. One quick question here. Quick, Jessie.
Yep, let's do the question first.
Yes, this webinar will be available by recording. It should be sent out to you within the next week or two. As soon as we wrap this up, we're going to be able to send this out via Click Dimensions, and the recording will be a part of this. So yes, this is being recorded, and it will be sent out to you. Great question.
And additionally, if there's someone who wants to see a demo of Click Dimensions, we can go through maybe your unique environment, what you guys are doing today for marketing automation. If you want to get in touch with Bill to set up a demo, I'd be happy to show you a demo one-to-one and go through this in more detail. And just really quickly, just to go through kind of how our packages are structured, all of the pricing is based on annual email volume. So most people like to start at our standard level or above because this gives you access to every feature that Click Dimensions has to offer, everything I went through today. So you have 180,000 emails per year at the standard level. This is an all-inclusive pricing. So this is unlimited users for the solution, your training, your support, installation, everything that you need. You do get a 10% discount if you pay the annual upfront. Otherwise, you have the option of paying quarterly. But the only difference of this from the standard level and then going upwards in packages is that your email volume grows. Of course, your price is going to increase as your email volume grows. And then the amount of active nurture campaigns that you can have running simultaneously will kind of go up as your email volume goes up. So these are more starter level packages. We have a base level which gives you access to full email and analytics. You have 60,000 emails a year, but you don't have the premium features that I went through today, like nurture, surveys, landing pages, subscription management, and then we have an email only package as well, all based on annual email volume. So any last questions before we close up here?
Looks like it's it. And again, once again, please contact me, Bill Rockwell, at Affiliated, and I will be able to then put you in touch with Jessie if you're looking to receive a demonstration by her one-on-one if you're already a CRM user. So once again, please contact me, Bill Rockwell. And it looks like that's it. Covered all the questions that I think that are on there. All right, I want to thank everybody for joining us here today. Jessie, thank you for presenting a little bit of Click Dimensions, and I look forward to talking to some of you here in the near future in regards to Click Dimensions and Microsoft CRM. Thank you very much for your time, and we'll get out that recording to you as soon as we're able to send that out for you guys. Thank you very much, and have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.